1, 2, 3. That was the last thing I heard before we jumped, hand in hand, into the icy cold water 8 feet below. My best friend and I had just jumped off the Petoskey break wall, something I hadn't had the courage to do in years. She always pushes me to stray from my comfort zone and stays by my side while I do. As you can tell, she is a very important person to me. I met Zoe Paquette 6 years ago, so when asked who meant a lot to me, I only thought of her. She has always managed to change me for the better, from meeting to the things we've done to the issues she's helped me through. She always makes my life better. She's helped me to see the good in people and the fun in the world. Meeting her has been one of the best things that has ever happened to me. I was only 9 when my dad moved up to Carp Lake, Michigan to be closer to my grandma. His friend had many nieces and nephews, and they wanted to introduce me. Being a shy little kid with trust issues, that was the last thing I wanted to do. But eventually I agreed, so down to the next street I went and met them. There were kids filling the yard. Some were really young, barely able to toddle around the yard. Most were closer to my age. A little boy chasing the kids around, a girl glaring at her phone with headphones in, and a smaller girl with flowing brown hair and a big smile. The latter caught my eye, and I had to get to know her. We quickly bonded, and we soon ran out into the woods to talk more. Although it was almost a year difference, the bond we had was like twins. She helped me get over my trust issues and became a very close person to me. We began doing everything together. Hot summer days were spent splashing at the beach, and we'd float back to the sandbars when we couldn't touch. We'd climb up steep dirt hill, tumbling down after one another, being covered in mud by the time we were done. Then we'd jump off the break wall, as I mentioned, 2 years later. I remember when I was 12, I had just turned 12 for my birthday, and we were supposed to be asleep, but instead she found this little eye mask, and we ran around in the middle of the night, screaming in the dark, scaring each other half to death. We ended up waking up my parents, but they didn't come check on us because they trusted us enough to know that we would get to sleep eventually. I can't tell you how many times I've spent this summer sleeping under the stars in her tent. I remember one time we set up this bright orange tent. It was in late August on a warm day, but it began to pour out of nowhere. We climbed back in through her window to escape the rain and didn't let it put a damper on our night. Instead, we laughed and told jokes, staying up the whole night instead. This weekend, we spent time at the new restaurant that's opened up, getting milkshakes and looking out at the water. No matter what the activity is, she makes it easier to enjoy and challenges me to see the bright in a seemingly dark place. No matter what, even though we've done many activities, she's always there when I need it. She helped me through my first breakup and was the only person I wanted to talk to about it. She gives such good advice in a way you just want to listen to, and it's hard not to accept her help. I trusted her with secrets I'd barely begun to accept myself, and it helped me a lot to figure out who I was more. My parents began to fight, and no matter what I was doing or what she was doing, I could call her and talk about it. I remember once I got in a huge fight with one of my best friends, and I was distraught. I called her and she dropped everything right away. We made plans to hang out, and she kept my mind off of it, but eventually it couldn't be kept at bay any longer. She patted my hair and wiped away my tears, knowing that saying something like, "It's okay," or "It'll be okay," is just too cheesy for us. She always makes sure people feel loved and know that they won't be judged no matter what they do. Whenever I need to talk, or even if I just need a hug, I can go to Zoe. She helps me see the good in the world, even when it seems difficult to find. Although at first I was nervous to meet her, she quickly helped me get over my trust issues and changed my view of people for the better. She helps me see the fun in things we do, even the little everyday things that seem so simple you don't even think about. I now try to do this myself for other people. She's helped me through so many difficult periods in my life, and saved me from myself many times. I can never thank her for all that she's done. Jumping off the break wall was more than just a fun summer activity. It was letting go of my fears and letting our friendship grow.